This video focuses on civil liberties and civil rights, with key topics like due process and the right to privacy falling under the broader discussion of protections provided by the Bill of Rights and the 14th Amendment. Due process is the legal principle that the government must respect all legal rights owed to a person according to the law. It ensures fair treatment through the normal judicial system and prevents arbitrary denial of life, liberty, or property. Due process clauses in the Constitution Fifth Amendment applies to the federal government. States that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. 14th Amendment extends due process protections to state governments, used to incorporate most of the Bill of Rights to the states through the selective incorporation doctrine. Two types of due process. Procedural due process, fair procedures, requires the government to follow fair procedures before depriving someone of life, liberty, or property. This includes rights like the right to an attorney, a fair trial, and being informed of accusations, such as in Miranda v. Arizona in 1966. Substantive due process, protection of fundamental rights, means the government cannot pass laws that infringe on fundamental rights, even if fair procedures are followed. This is often linked to privacy rights, as seen in cases like Griswold v. Connecticut in 1965 and Roe v. Wade in 1973. Key Supreme Court cases on due process. Gitlow v. New York in 1925 was the first case to apply the Bill of Rights to the states using the 14th Amendment. Gideon v. Wainwright in 1963 guaranteed the right to an attorney in state courts. Miranda v. Arizona in 1966 established Miranda rights, which include the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. The right to privacy is not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, but has been interpreted by the Supreme Court as a fundamental right under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. How the right to privacy was established. The Supreme Court has inferred a zone of privacy from multiple amendments. First Amendment, freedom of association and speech. Third Amendment, protection from quartering soldiers in private homes. Fourth Amendment, protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. Ninth Amendment implies that rights not explicitly mentioned still exist. 14th Amendment Due Process Clause extends privacy rights to the states. Key Supreme Court cases on privacy. Griswold v. Connecticut in 1965 established a constitutional right to privacy. Overturned a law banning contraception for married couples. Roe v. Wade in 1973 extended privacy rights to a woman's decision to have an abortion. Struck down state laws banning abortion before fetal viability. Planned Parenthood v. Casey in 1992 reaffirmed Roe, but allowed states to place some restrictions like waiting periods and parental consent. Lawrence v. Texas in 2003 struck down sodomy laws protecting the private conduct of consenting adults. Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization in 2022 overturned Roe v. Wade, returning abortion regulation to the states. The right to privacy is protected through substantive due process because, well, the government cannot pass laws that infringe on fundamental personal freedoms. The 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause is the basis for selective incorporation, which applies privacy-related rights to state laws. Privacy rights influence cases on birth control, abortion, LGBTQ+ rights and personal autonomy. Due process and privacy rights shape key debates on criminal justice, personal freedoms, and government power. The Supreme Court continues to interpret these rights in cases concerning technology, healthcare, and social issues like abortion and surveillance.